We have a guest who has, I think, maybe some really good advice for everybody because we're in this era now of layoffs. It's Gina White with
Hi,
Financial
Gina.
Life
Hello,
Planners.
thanks for having
And
me.
Gina, I want to, just as we launch into this, we just got the word this morning of massive layoffs. This is just going to hurt so many people and so many families. Verizon just this morning announced they are cutting 13,000 employees.
That's correct. Yeah, it seems like it's something we're hearing every day now.
Kidding. I mean, so the CEO sent out the letter, and you got a lot of people whose lives are going to get turned upside down, and that seems like it's just the latest one. So the reason we wanted to chat with you is to find out a little bit more about even if you feel pretty secure in your job, I mean, there are no guarantees, I mean, unless you're locked up into some kind of contract like Celeste has, where I think she signs 10-year deals. Is that
20 actually?
Oh, is that right? I didn't even think that was
20-year
legal,
deal.
but okay, good for you.
We do things a little bit different around here, Ron.
Anyway, Gina, give us the 411. What should people do now? I think especially if they're in the tech world, but there are a lot of other parts of the economy where we're seeing this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's super important to be proactive. If that has not happened to you yet, but you anticipate it might, or even if you don't anticipate that it might, be proactive. Obviously, sit down, look at your budget, separate out the wants and the needs, see where you can cut. Of course, build up that emergency fund. I know it's hard during the holidays.
Yeah.
There might have to be some homemade gifts this year. But meet with a financial professional so you can be proactive ahead of time and see where you could take some distributions from. Can your portfolio handle some early distributions? If it can, for how long? So that way you know where to go and you don't have to make a rash decision and rack up that high interest credit card.
You know, I think that for some people, they may say, meeting with a financial advisor, do I have enough to meet with an advisor?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it can be a little intimidating, I think.
It can be. We see that a lot, but it's so important to sit down with a financial professional regardless of what you have. If it's to be proactive or heaven forbid something does happen to you and you do get unemployed or laid off unexpectedly, of course you're going to want to use that emergency fund. That's what it's there for.
Should it be 6 months? I've heard
It
that.
depends. You know, if I'm sitting with a nurse who is completely employable, that's very different from a business owner in a unique, specific industry that may take them a year to find income again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know when you get into financial planning, you're trying to help people, okay, you know, maybe set aside this much every year for the next so many years and put it in some mutual funds, et cetera. But when you do sit down with clients and you're trying to get them to realize there are places where they can save money, what are the most common places to cut back?
Okay, so here's the thing when you are needing to cut back. There are options that make sense, like, for example, taking a loan from your 401k. So if you have been proactive and you have a plan and a strategy ahead of time, don't just go cash out that 401k, incur taxes and penalties.
Yeah.
It's very likely you could take a loan from it. Also, equities. If you have stocks, you can take an equity-based line of credit.
Right.
If you don't have investment portfolio,
Sure, which I think is probably the average person who doesn't have a lot of money even set aside. I saw a story the other day that said the percentage of people who don't have more than one paycheck's worth of savings is dramatic. So let's talk to
increasing.
Let's talk to those people.
Okay, those people,
what do
if you're
do?
sitting at home and you were just laid off, here's a really good tip that you can take. Assuming you have decent credit, there are 0% interest credit cards that you can use that you can get sometimes up to 12 months, maybe even longer before that interest kicks in. You can balance transfer or just start fresh. And that really gives you some breathing room until you can replace that income. And it's a good alternative to the credit card that's sitting in your wallet that has 22% interest.
What if you're laid off and you're, let's say, in your 50s and you're thinking, do I make a move to a different industry? Do I stick with the same? Do I move to a new city? And how do you help them kind of take a look at the budget, how that affects whether or not they stay, they move? I'm sure there's a lot of other factors involved as well.
Yeah, that is a great question. And it's really a difficult situation to be in. Obviously, first and foremost, file for unemployment.
Yeah.
If you do want to consider moving states, that's a good option because you could sell a real estate asset here that then you could create some income from, and maybe you rent in a new location or a new state that might be more affordable to
especially
live
in the market here in the Valley. We have a hot real estate market.
Yeah.
And, maybe if you're getting behind, call the lender. Instead of just don't pay your mortgage, call them, explain the situation, see if
you can delay payments.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gina,
option.
thank you so much. Lots of great advice. She is with Financial Life Planners.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Gina.
it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.